Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. Excited to be back with you today. We're doing more Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. I think we might be able to finish it today. We're going to see kind of where we are at the usual 2-hour mark and see if we need to go into overtime or another episode, but we're kind of right on that cusp. But, yeah. I don't know, nothing really exciting happened this weekend. It was just kind of a nice, quiet weekend for myself. I hope you all had a good weekend. We're expecting a ton of snow starting tomorrow here in the city, so that'll be nice, finally. But let's go ahead. Let's dive back in. So last time we were in 100 Acre Woods. And Pooh had befittingly forgotten everything. So we gotta help him out. Because everyone forgets everything in this castle. What am I doing here? Oh, we also did find, Piglet. Why would you let me cast stop if there's no enemies? You know what? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Come, Pooh, we have friends to find. And a lack of magic doors that we need to use our cards on. Hello, Rabbit? I'm sorry I'm ruining your everything, but that's how I look for you. Oh, bother indeed, Kit. Oh, bother indeed. Watch out! Pooh just got absolutely bodied by a pumpkin. That was close. Are you okay, Pooh? Oh, yes, I seem to be. Where did that pumpkin come from? Yoo-hoo! Hello, Rabbit. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Would you help me sort the vegetables from my garden? So the pumpkin was yours? Sure. Sort a total of 30 cabbages and pumpkins. When you see this triangle, sort the veggie by throwing the keyblade. Cabbages to the left with square, pumpkins to the right with triangle. Okay. I don't remember this mini game at all, which is, again, kind of fitting, but pretty sure I must have done it. This is the thrilling and exciting gameplay that you've come to expect from Father Evan and Let Us Play. Just the absolute mayhem and madness of sorting these vegetables. Ah, dang it, I missed.
Oh, yes.
Who? I could only get... Okay, that was... I like that the top left is called the success count. Carrots? I was not expected to sort carrots. What do you mean the carrot attacked me? This is unfair. Rabbit, you never discussed carrots. So this is this like the usual 100-acre woods where it's a bunch of mini games rather than combat? I don't remember, to be honest. I think it's like the other 100-acre woods where you can just skip it. Bye, Pooh. You've heard of killer tomatoes, but assault pumpkins. You know, the tactical assault pumpkins. I'm going to use them to take Gondor. Oh, thank you for your help. Please take this, won't you? Cross/plus. Cloud. Stop. Attack. I only have one of... Well, I have two of the three of those things, but... I wonder what these balloons are for. Immediately ties that. Sure. Reach the treetop. Logical solution, Sora. You just see balloons. Oh no. I have to keep pressing circle to keep going up. Ah. Oh man, the momentum. No, bees. Do not want any of what you are selling today. Wait, can I only have 3 balloons at a time? Well, that's baloney.
Perhaps a bit more. Is this the way I want to go?
I don't know if you can hear it because it's pretty quiet, but when you pop a balloon, Pooh is saying, "Is this the way I want to go?" And I think he means like, "Is this the direction I want to head?" But it sounds more existential, and that's. Do I want to go hanging from a balloon?
Is this the way I want to go?
With this weird spiky-haired kid. This piece sniped me, you saw it.
What a lot of honey.
Don't worry, Sora. The bees are nothing to fear. Ah. Ooh. Look who made it all the way up here. Hello, Owl. Are you all right, Pooh? Oh, yes, Owl. I found it rather fun. Maybe you could use a balloon to look for our friends. Woohoo! You might think so, young man. But serious problems arise when you arrive at your destination. That was ominous. Once you find your friends, how do you get down to them? You see, a balloon goes only where the wind blows, which is usually up. But if you saw your friends, but the wind kept them just out of reach, I'd rather have to keep looking for my friends and find them and not be able to reach them. You've got a point. If you want to find someone, you'd best do it on foot. It can be quite exciting to stumble across a friend where you least expect them. Well, that is how I feel when I stumble across some honey. Mono track mind. That's the spirit, Pooh. Keep moving and keep looking. Oh, thank you, Owl. That's what I'll do. My tummy is anxious for me to find that honey. Don't worry. I'll help Pooh find his friends. Splendid. Here's something to speed you on your way. Viraga Burst. Ooh. I don't have gravity, though. Oh, it's T-I-double-G-E-R. Sorry, T-I-double-G-E-R. Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo. Say, would you like to bounce with me? Do I have a choice? Jump on the same tree stumps as Tigger. Jump 25 times to clear. Okay, it's Simon
The
Says.
most wonderful thing about Tigger is I'm the only one. Hello.
Okay, square, X, circle. So it seems to at least be adding to the pattern.
Hello.
And not a new pattern every time.
Oh, yes. Hello.
If I can nail this last one, we get it.
Oh, yes.
Or, no, I need to do one more. Dang it.
Oh, yes.
Oh no, I screwed up. Woohoo! Not bad at all. We were just trying to bounce like you, Tigger. I'm surprised you could keep up with me. I can't do these voices, by the way. I've given up. Well, I can bounce with the best of them now. Is that so? Let's see you do this. Whoa. Tigger, I don't have a tail like that. That would... What do you think of that? I could never. Aw, you don't have to do it like me. Bouncing is best when you do it your own way. Because I'm Tigger and you're Sora. Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Tigger, I think you dropped something. Oh, that? I found on top of a tree when I was bouncing. You can have it, Sora. Kinda weighs me down when bouncing. Idle Romp. Bambi attack. Bambi zigzags around the battlefield, confusing the enemy. Ooh. I don't know if I... Do I even have a Bambi card? No, I don't even have Bambi. Awkward. That's an awfully blustery hole.
Yeah.
This is the exact... This is the same room as the last room in just regular Kingdom Hearts, I just noticed. Oh, okay. We're doing a minigame, I guess. I just thought maybe it would.
Hooray!
How dare I think it just moved me to the upper platform to talk to Eeyore. Also, these are very reminiscent of the 100 Acre. This one in particular is very reminiscent of the 100 Acre Woods in Kingdom Hearts 2, as we'll see.
Oh, yes. Let's
Feels like a prototype for it, honestly. Hey, Catholic Brit. Good to see you. Oh, nope. Get back your poo.
help someone. What a lot of honey.
I'm doing well today. Britt, how about yourself? As long as Pooh doesn't keep trying to run away from me. Oh, hey, Roo. You raced for the cry, Baby Mario cry? Well, that could happen in the 200 follower roulette. Hello there, Roo. What are you doing here? Peking, sorry. I was so busy looking for Tigger that I was blown away by the wind and fell down here. And you got stuck? No. I was waiting for Tigger. So we can ride the blustery wind together. That's reasonable. Perfectly reasonable. So if Tigger rides the wind here, this is where I'll be. It sure will surprise Tigger, don't you think? But what if he doesn't fall here? Yes, if Tigger rides the wind, his bounces might bounce him even further away. Well, I was getting a little lonely and tired of waiting for him. Instead of waiting, why don't you see if you can find him? You're right, that sounds like a great idea. Metaphor for the entire plot. By the way, I found this in the shrubs. Why don't you take it? Mega Ether. Nice. You're doing great. Had an absolutely incredible weekend. Doing well despite the work stress. I'm glad to hear that you are doing well despite the work stress. And had a good weekend. Lost my tail again. It figures. Do you know where you lost it? Why bother? Oh, yum. No. Bad poo. I found it. I knew if I just listened to my tummy, I would find some honey. Probably upset the bees, though, taking their honey, that is. Well, there's only one way to find out. Is it minigame time? Exterminate 50 bees. Oh, wow, this is... Oh, look at my cards! I definitely never did this before.
Heal. Help someone. Win. Heal.
Nope. I was wondering why I couldn't attack. I didn't realize the heal spell puts a honey pot on his head.
Help someone.
You'll be fine, Pooh. Just calm down. You exterminate bees with your weed bees. It interrupts their Beacadian rhythm. Oh, Quirpline.
Heal.
I wish I could recharge during that.
Help someone. This is it. Back off. Yeah.
Oh, hey, I got our Sarcodum. Definitely glad that you're doing well. That's good. Went on a young adult retreat. Very nice. Hey, look, we found his tail. How did... Eeyore? How did your tail get in the tree? Oh, bother. My head. Well, much obliged, Pooh. I'm sure I'm obliged to you too, Eeyore. But, for what? For running into that tree and getting my tail back for me. Oh, but I was just trying to get away from those bees and keep up with Sora. Well, anyhow, you helped me. Thanks. And I was just trying to get rid of the bees. It was all an accident that we found your tail. An accident. It figures. Nobody would help me on purpose. But I'm still obliged. You're welcome, Eeyore. Here's something for you. Hey, it's okay, Eeyore. It was just an accident. I know, but this fell down along with my tail. It's the accidental part of my thank you. Savage. Ooh, elixir. I think elixirs restore all cards. Yeah, attack and magic cards. That's pretty dope. It's a shame it's a 1, but... if I take out... honestly, if I just take out regular potion, like, this is only 3 points more expensive. My headphone cord keeps getting tangled up on everything today. No, 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 Pooh! And here we are on the other side. Well, that's... there we go. I was like, no cutscene? I guess we can't go any farther. So, Pooh, wasn't it more fun looking for your friends together? Oh, yes, Sora, it was. And I'd like you to have this. Thank you for helping me. Whew, I walked so far, I think I need a little rest. If only I had a honey pot to keep me company. Well, I'd better get going. Where to? To look for my friends. Then I shall help you look for them too. That's okay, Pooh. You should stay here. You mean this is goodbye? No way, I'll always know where to find you. If I don't forget. Don't worry, Sora. You can count on me. Even if you forget Winnie the Pooh, I won't forget you. Oh, thanks, Pooh. Oh, that's going to be awkward at the start of 100 Acre Woods at the next one. Hey, Bambi card. We need that for the thing that I'm never going to actually use. Oh, what up, Larxene?
Who are you?
Oh, Vexen.
I am Vexen. I have come to collect your debt, Sora.
What debt?
A debt? Sora, do you owe something
Oh,
to this
dang.
guy?
He's come for my student loans.
Come on, of course not. Oh, but you do. You owe me for reuniting you with your former friend. You don't mean... Indeed, I do.
And
I'm
back
the
to
one who
darkness and
brought
mumbling
Riku
and
to
confusion.
you.
Yep.
Then... You're the one who's been controlling him. What have you done with him? I see no need to give you information about where Riku is. After all... why trouble you in your final hour?
Ominous. What up, Mage Arts? Good to see you. Long time no see. How are ya? We're about to beat up a nerd with a shield.
Here you go. Yeah, it's over. It's over.
I've had enough of this. Here
Oh.
you go.
Heal.
Here you go.
Heal. Fire. Funnel.
Oh my goodness, Donald actually healed. It's a Christmas miracle, y'all.
Taste this.
What if I don't want to taste this?
No good.
Yeah. Back off. Heal. Fire. Fire. Freeze.
Here you go.
This is it.
Here you go.
It's over.
This is, in fact, the Fall of the Shield antagonist, I suppose.
It's over. It's over.
You are just an experiment. Taste this.
Take this.
You imbecile.
Oh dang, oh dang, I am out of healed stuff. So this could be a problem.
Here you go.
This is it. Yeah. Funnel.
Donald, you are a miracle worker for once. Dang it! Ah! Okay, I kind of misplayed some of that, I think. That's okay. We kind of know how he plays now. That freezing move is the one he found most challenging with Vexen. That's fair. Also, I have to walk to the log to leave? That doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness, I have to log out. That was terrible, Kit.
It's over.
Oh shoot, I messed that up.
Here you go.
It's over.
So I have to read this. So the X comes out, and when they become nobody. Vexen's real name is Evan. Eden. I'm not making that up. That is canonically his human name.
Taste this.
Heal. Fire. Fire.
You know what? Oh no. You just canceled my cloud. That's not cool. No, he just canceled out my elixir by accident. I didn't actually want to do that right there. Oh, that honks. That honks. I really screwed that up. Was Evan as odd as Vexen? Even more so, it seems, when he shows up in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Taste this.
Don't want to throw in cards.
I shall freeze you. This is it. This is it. It's over. I've had enough of this.
Where's Zero? Where's Zero?
Here you go. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Here you go. Heal. Here you go. Back off. Yeah. Taste this. This is it.
Sorry, I can't really read Twitch chat right now.
I shall freeze you.
I need y'all to just entertain each other for a bit.
It's over. Heal. I've had enough of this.
Oh, shoot.
Taste this. Filthy. Taste this. Yeah. I shall freeze you. Yeah. Heal. Here you go. Yeah. I've had this is it. Yeah. Filthy. Here you go. Yeah.
No. I do not want what you are giving out. Shoot. I keep screwing that one up. I need to rearrange those cards a little bit.
I shall freeze you.
I didn't mean for the slate to go off, but okay, we live here now.
Back off. Funnel.
Why did you heal him?
Yeah.
Donald, you absolute unit.
I've had enough of this.
Nope, nope. Nah. If you don't get it at that level up, it is missed, so you can't get it later. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I cast Blizzard on Vexen. And Vexen's element is ice. So guess what that does? Donald. We almost had that, though. I'm pretty confident in my ability. Yeah, so if you do, like, fire on Axel, he'll heal. Donald's a man of the law. He heals both you and him, which is fair. I don't believe you that Donald is a man of the law, Gale.
Back off. Yeah. Yeah. Filthy. I shall freeze you.
I'd really rather you not. Dang it.
This.
Dang it! I couldn't get the 0 fast enough.
Here you go. Fire! Here you go. Taste this.
Rotata. So the gospel today really exemplifies the human nature of Christ. He is just done with the Pharisees in this passage of the gospel. It says something to the effect of like in his innermost being or in his core, and like the Greek word for that is like in your deepest bowels. And it's also impronounceable. And then he just gets up and leaves. And that's what I reflect on, is the sense of like, you know what? There are times with an argument that the correct answer is to leave.
It's over. Here you go. Filthy. Taste this. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's Jesus is like, okay, I'm not having this conversation.
Here you go.
I'm leaving you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
I shall freeze you. Here you go.
Hey, K-Max, thank you for the raid. Coming in with 8 people. Welcome, Raiders. Hope y'all are having a good day. I'm doing well. We just finished. We're kind of getting dumpstered repeatedly here by this nerd.
Here you go. Heal. Fire. Taste.
But I think we just turned things around.
Back off. Heal.
Rounds, I don't know. Numbers aren't important. Rude. How dare you block? It's all good. This actually gives me an opportunity. I added a function. So now mods can do a shout out as well. Exclamation point SO. Okay, so I'm going to edit the deck a little bit. Because we don't need the ice. We don't need the blizzard. I'm going to take Cloud out too. Could use some more healing for sure. And maybe some... Maybe this Mega Ether would be good as well. No, that would be too much. Of course it would. Yeah, how dare the guy with a shield block? That's just unfair. It's rude. Rude, I tell you. Let's just add in another fire then. I don't know what happened with that third one there, but, yep. Yay, Twitch chat. Oh, hey, Gale. K-Max was playing, Final Hallway 13. You like that game, don't you? You like Final Fantasy 13? It tastes like metal.
Yeah. I shall freeze you, Donald.
Donald, you almost healed. Thank goodness Donald actually missed.
It's over. Yeah. It's over.
I've had enough of this. Here you go.
Yeah. It's over.
Kind of want him to make another slate
Here you go.
so that then I can use my zero
I
heal.
shall freeze heal.
Like that.
It's over. Yeah. It's over.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Taste this.
Heal.
Ooh, he's actually reloading entirely. I don't think we've... Oh, come on.
I've had enough of this.
Yeah. Fire.
I shall.
This is it. Yeah.
Taste this.
Oh dear. We are very low on health. Nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna take a risk. Donald! Oh my goodness, I think Donald just ruined our day.
Heal.
Because he just cast
Fire.
the Zaga
Yeah.
Here you go.
on Vexen twice and healed him a full health bar.
I've had enough of this.
So have I.
It's over.
I think I would have had this one otherwise.
Yeah.
Thanks, Donald.
It's over.
Took a gamble on you and you ruined it.
Yeah. It's over. Yeah.
Here you go.
Ooh, that's not good.
I shall freeze you. Taste this.
There. Back off.
Here you go.
This is it.
Taste this.
Nope. Donald ruined it. Everyone saw it. Donald is uninvited to my birthday party. This should have kept my deck as is, but let's double check. Okay, yes. Does he really not have a walk cycle? Walk cycles are for normal people. Vexen's not normal people. Plus, I think it adds to the whole ice motif that he just kind of glides and floats.
Taste this.
Yeah.
Taste this.
Back off. Yeah.
Here you go.
Come on, activate your slate. No.
I shall freeze you.
Yeah. It's over.
I'm prods? Improds? Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but thank you for the follow.
Donald.
Oh my gosh, he even used the right kind of magic
Yeah.
against him.
Fire. Taste this! Here you go. Yeah. Heal! I shall freeze you!
Shoot, I'm out of zeros.
Yeah. Fire!
Oh no, he just broke my elixir.
Heal!
Time to panic. I mean, remain calm. I mean, panic. Frauds is fine? Alright, well, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. You join me as I flail quite a bit against this boss. Not my best showing, but, you know, we live here now. Calm is hard. Yeah, it really is, actually. I feel like it really wanted to be like a turn-based card game, but... Wait, what's that emote? I Keyblade you. That is a great emote. And I believe in myself. I honestly, that next to last time, I almost had it, but then Donald was like, what if I heal the guy? Am I helping?
Yeah, taste this!
Rah!
This is it! Yeah! This is it! Yeah! I shall freeze you! Taste this! Heal! Here you go! Fire!
No, there you go.
Here you go! I've had enough! Yeah!
I didn't mean to activate that slate.
Taste this! Heal! There! Back off! Yeah! Here you go! I shall freeze you!
No, I'm gonna find a zero. Dang it! I was too slow. I'm pretty sure he's focus heavy game. Doesn't want. Eh.
Heal!
Questions are good too.
Taste fire!
Questions are entertaining.
Here you go!
Screwed that up. I could have
Yeah!
had an actual meaningful attack there.
I've had enough of this! Taste this!
I think I need to sprinkle my zeros around my deck a little bit more. So I'm just going to rework that a little bit. Questions act as distractions between fights. Helps keep the brain agile. What's a good way to know if you should speak up about something happening in church diocese isn't okay? Like something done made a mass with the bishop presiding illicit. It's a great question. I would first, you know, obviously trust. Oh man, that's a tough one. Honestly, speaking to the chancellor is a good place to go, as the chancellor is kind of in charge of a lot of the law stuff. Okay, we'll put a 0 there. And I would also trust in what's called Ecclesia Supplet the church provides, that, you know, even with human error, the grace of God is still present. Yeah, no, Chancellor is a position in the diocese, as defined by canon law and everything. Yeah, again, you know, talk to someone. You know, if you have a serious complaint, you know, essentially, that is the role of the Chancery and the Chancellor. Why do I suddenly have Bambi? Oh, because anytime I complete 100 Acre Woods, I get that Bambi.
Here you go. Taste this. Yeah. No good. Yeah. It's over. I've had enough. Yeah. Taste this. Here you go. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. I shall heal. Here you go. Heal. Fire. Fire.
No.
Here you go.
I don't care if I miss. I'm just getting that off to get the elixir to happen.
Yeah. Taste this. Here you go. This is it. It's over. I shall freeze you. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
over.
having my zeros spread around like that is helping a lot.
Just an experiment. It's over. You imbecile.
It's not a very nice thing to say. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Nope.
Heal.
Oh, I didn't know I had the rest of a slate loaded.
Here
Oops.
you go. Yeah. Heal. Fire. I shall freeze you. Back off. Yeah. I've had enough of this. Yeah. You imbecile.
Oh, shoot, shoot.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. You don't know it.
Oh, we did it. I believed in us. With that, you can bring it up to him. Now the Chancellor fairly well. That's good. Well, the bishop does have complete juridical, executive, and legislative power in his diocese, so...
As I expected, you weren't one to die very easily.
Seventh
As if
time's
I'd
the charm.
ever
Oh, that was
lose
like
to
the
you,
13th.
I wouldn't be so sure. Did you even notice? I was delving deep into your memory as we fought.
Stay out of my brain.
And here, look what I found. A card crafted from all the memories that are locked in the other side of your heart.
What does that mean, and where is that?
Wait! Memories? In the other side?
Sora learned freeze. Blizzard stop. That's Twilight Town. For those who have played Kingdom Hearts, you know what Twilight Town is, but he's allowed something to replace the created Sunday Mass that that's not allowed to replace the creed. Well, I don't know the full story, so I can't fully comment if he's actually what he's using. So, but you know, if you do think it's serious, you know, talk to the Chancellor.
If Sora disappears, that would mess up the organization's plans.
I trust that you know what you need to do.
Haven't a clue, really. Maybe you could
You're
spell
welcome.
it out for me.
Vexen has clearly committed a treasonous act against the organization. You must eliminate the traitor.
No taking that back later.
I'm beginning to question this pink-haired dude's motives. No take-backsies.
A card made out of memories from the other side of your heart?
Which one?
I wonder what it does.
We'll find out soon enough. It's the only one we have left. No other way to move forward.
Definitely saving. My heart has two sides, the inside and the outside. Okay, but see, the thing is that Sora has like 3 hearts. At least. If not more. Right now, I guess he only has 2, maybe 2.5. No, just 2. Look, it gets weird. But for those who have never played a Kingdom Hearts game, you're not going to know where we are. If you have played Kingdom Hearts series, you're like, oh yeah, this is it. So Sora is a Time Lord? No, he's more than a Time Lord. Oh, look how chunky that clock tower is. Gorsh, where are we, Sora? I don't know. I've never been here. Me neither. That can't be right. Up until now, the only places we've been are from Sora's memory. Maybe so. I definitely don't remember this. You might have forgotten this town just like other stuff. Oh, this is terrible. Our memories are practically gone. Who are you? We'll be okay. See, look at this. Naminé gave it to me. Naminé's good luck charm. There's a special memory that goes with this. Is there? Is there? One night when Naminé and I were little, there was this meteor shower. Naminé started crying and she said, what if a shooting star hits the islands? So I said, if a shooting star comes this way, I'll hit it right back into outer space. I was swinging this toy sword around the whole time. Naminé just smiled and said thanks, and then she gave me this. Sora, I'm so sorry. All this because of me. You better be sorry, Naminé. I know the real story. It looks like Disneyland Main Street? It does. Naminé said she had it ever since she was a baby. And she gave it to you? Aww. Yeah, so I promised her. From now on, I'll bring you good luck. I'll keep you safe. But then one day, Naminé left the island, and I forgot about her all this time. I'm really let down. So Naminé is Kairi's nobody, right? Yes. So arguably these did happen since Naminé is part of Kairi, and they have no. Naminé gets special rules. She's unlike any other nobody. Spoiler alert. Naminé is Kairi's nobody. What's a nobody? We'll kind of learn about that as we go on. Anyway, she has all of these memories that Sora is having are completely manipulated. They don't exist.
This is it.
Like they are. Get out of the ground and fight me. a nerd. Honestly, I could use a little more HP. It's just like Disney Main Street, crowded and elbowy. And Namine's blonde because her character from a later game. I'll be honest, I don't know entirely which later game you're referring to, so I'm gonna just say yes. Or maybe that's just part of the lore where I just stopped caring.
Fire! Funnel! Take this! Yeah! Heal! Yeah! Fire! This is it! Yeah! This is it! Yeah!
Okay, I don't know why that blitz just stopped. I was pressing triangle, but
It's over!
you're thinking BBS?
Yeah! Ha!
Who's blonde in BBS?
Ha! Yeah!
Ventus? Because Aqua's hair is blue.
This is it! This is it!
Yes, Ventus. You know, I honestly had never heard that, but also I somehow just would not be surprised. Because that's how Kingdom Hearts lore be. And I love this series, don't get me wrong. But this series is also dumb sometimes.
It's over! Yeah! It's over! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Rah!
Because Kairi gets her Keyblade. Spoiler alert, Kairi can wield a Keyblade. She gets that from Aqua.
Yeah! Rah! Ha! Ha! This is it!
Because she touches Aqua's Keyblade in a single cutscene, and then the series is like, yeah, that's good enough reason to make her Keyblade wielder.
It's over!
Sora and Riku, they'll get full cutscenes of being bequeathed the right to wield a Keyblade. Kairi, she touched it. I think Namine just looks special because she's such a weird nobody in the lore. And then Riku is essentially given a gun. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah! Back off!
Oh, Dingo's fed kidneys. I wasn't paying attention.
Yes! Goofy!
I don't want to do a goofy bash. So I just gotta scroll through all of this.
Guilty! Heal!
Territory here, child. Things will be hard in future. Here, take this.
Yeah! Yeah! Guilty!
I'm no expert in child raising, but generally I would not hand a 5-year-old a gun.
It's over! Yeah! It's over! Yeah! Guilty! Fire!
Well, the important thing is that he tried.
Donald!
Oh, the sound effects are so crunchy.
Yeah! Heal! Yeah! This is it! Ha! Yeah! Yeah!
I hit triangle. Don't you lie to me, game.
Yeah! Yeah! It's over! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Yeah!
Wait, I want to look at the map real quickly. Oh, we have a treasure room. Do we have a treasure card again? I forget. Yes! Let's go! Let's just do a good calm bounty. It's called the Warpinator. A heartless platypus. Parry the heartless platypus. Oh, get ready for my Warpinator. Ah, sorry, I had to.
Yeah! Yeah!
Okay, so... Oh, we need to go up this way anyway, because that's where we're headed. I'm gonna put in a Moogle room, because we haven't had one of those in a while. Could do with the shopping experience in the late game.
Yeah!
A blue equal to 8. Well. Red equal to 1. And 20 green.
Yeah! Ha! 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 Huh. Yeah! Ha!
This is why I wanted to come in here
Huh. Rah!
before doing the Moogle. Because figure we might get some points out of things in here.
Ha!
Stardust Blitz. Just Donald and a fire? I didn't know you could have slights with just 2, to be honest. That's... I want to try that out now.
Yeah! Rah! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Ha!
All units, be on the lookout for a Vandal Delinquent. Appears to be about 15 years of age, spiky hair, smashing every potted plant in sight.
Yeah!
Not bad, not bad. Let's see if there's anything we feel like trading in first. Don't have any duplicates on that front. Nope. Leave that for now. Oh, but we're so close to that. I kind of want to do this one in the hopes of getting another ether, or not ether, I can't even remember words. Elixir. Hey, look at that. 2 elixirs, both 9s. Nice. So we're 77 points. This one's only 45, so I can't quite swap them out. Unless I took out... Let me take out 30 of something else. Kind of like having all 3. We'll think about it. It'll be nice to have when we get... a little more card points, I think. We can swap it out.
Yeah! Yeah! Rah! Ha! Ha! Goofy!
So I don't think we're going to finish up today after all. That Vexen fight just took a little bit longer than expected. That's okay. This will leave us...
It's over!
Because there's actually 2 more cards, 2 more worlds.
It's over! Yeah! It's over! Goofy!
Oh, we can try the new. Oh, okay. So you make it, but you still need 3 cards.
Yeah.
So it's one you can tack onto other slates. That's cool.
Fire! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Heal! Funnel! Yeah! Ha! Rah!
Also, it does a ton of damage in a good AoE. Dang it! Ah! Keep missing the Heartless on the air. In the room where it matters more if I hit them.
Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Rah! Funnel! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Rah! It's over! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Rah! Yeah! Heal! This is it! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Rah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! It's over! Ha!
I've had it up to here with these Heartless in this world.
Yeah! It's over! It's over! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Rah! Fire!
I got the treasure room key again. I'm just really lucky, I guess. Because those are supposed to be quite rare.
Yeah!
Hey, Quixotic. A character in Final Fantasy games I enjoy the most.
Yeah!
Good question. I mean, I forget the name of the... It's a spin-off that leads into Final Fantasy 1 that was made like a couple of years ago. Hey, Quixotic, thank you for the resub with Twitch Prime. But like you wind up playing the main... You wind up playing as a character who becomes the main or first boss in Final Fantasy. I should pay attention to this fight. And he's just really funny throughout the cutscenes. Like he just tells everyone to shut up. Like enemies will be monologuing, and he's just like, "Oh, shut up." Jack and Stranger of Paradise. Thank you. I knew Gale would know. Honestly, the laughing scene of Tidus is obnoxious, but I actually think Tidus is an interesting character. You know, essentially being dead the entire time and not knowing it.
It's over.
I actually like a lot of the individual characters of 10. It's just kind of the whole structure. Yeah, he kills Chaos for like a moment and then becomes Chaos.
Fire.
Calm Bounty. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, Vivi, he becomes Garland. His team's motivation is we aren't strong enough to defeat Chaos, so we will test heroes until they are strong enough to defeat Chaos. Yeah, so he becomes the weakest boss in the series.
Yeah.
Adalbert Steiner is great. I was actually just about to mention Vivi from 9. because I think Vivi has a great arc
This is it.
of meeting the other mages and mingling worlds. I don't know. I don't remember what that does. But yeah, I think Adalbert also has a good one. You need to play a Final Fantasy game all the way through. I would recommend it. They're fun. I just picked up the on Switch the Pixel Remastered from 1 through 6 was on sale. And so I decided, you know what? For this price, getting 6 games, that sounds like fun. And I've thoroughly been enjoying playing Final Fantasy 1 for the first time. Yeah, Vivi is a good example of patient suffering. I've not played 8 ever. It sometimes pops up on Steam on sale, and I think about it. I know Gale is a big fan of 8, but mostly enjoys the card game. Kind of the same way Gale's a fan of 10, but only enjoys playing Blitzball. I know 7 is overhyped, but I do like 7. I think it does some things very well, especially with its characters. The whole Cloud kind of losing grip on reality in the middle of Act 2 is very well done.
It's over.
It had some unfortunate combat mechanics. That is what I have heard. Yeah, 7 got its rep for a reason. Like, it did elevate everything. But it's really interesting playing Chrono Trigger, which is the same studio, and just seeing like, oh wow, there's a lot of... You can see a lot of what would become Final Fantasy VII, particularly in the combat in Chrono Trigger. My biggest gripe, honestly, with 7 as a game is the fact that it undoes the game, or it undoes the roles. Like, there's no differentiation between roles. 14 is one of the strongest stories. Unfortunately, you have to sit 300 hours of filler to get to it. Yeah, that's... I can't. I also don't like MMOs. I don't like how everything is going on, and... Oh, well said about death overshadowing the world in 10, Galen. But I also know that you will play that for a lot of Blitzball. No! Good getaway.
This is it.
Oops. Wasted that Goofy. Do you enjoy the story of Kingdom Hearts? I do. I I actually do unironically love the story of Kingdom Hearts. It makes no sense, but I do still really like it.
Heal! Goofy!
Loyal!
And honestly, I just gave up trying to understand the plot after Dream Drop because when time travel got introduced, I was like, whatever.
This is it! Ha! Yeah! Ha!
You defeated the Organization 13, but we are the real Organization 13. What? And I replayed 3 not earlier this year, late last year. Hey Britt, welcome back. And I finally played the Remind DLC, and that just made even less sense with alongside Melody of Memory, to be honest. But I still enjoy it. If they could just reboot it, maybe that would help. Yeah, well, maybe that's kind of what's going to happen with the next one, because it's not going to be the Seeker of Darkness story anymore. A room where anything could happen. That sounds terrifying. Oh, you know what? We've got 9 of these. I don't need 9 of those. Once upon a time, war were declared. That was considered a bad idea, and then things blew up. And retcons. Yeah, but when those retcons come in the form of mobile games... Am I making any Lenten vows this year? I jokingly wanted to say to not listen to Twitch chat, but I thought that was too mean. No, I'm actually giving up
What's wrong?
looking at Twitter and
Something
sweets.
feels really strange. I'm sure I don't know this place, but it's starting to feel like it's familiar to me.
You must have come here sometime before.
No, and that's what's strange.
Yeah, and yet I doom
It
scroll on
could be
Twitter
like
a lot.
with Nominee. You forgot lots of other stuff, and that's why you remember this place now.
No, it's different. With Nominee, my memories sort of came drifting back to me, a little piece at a time. But not now. It's not memories, just this idea that I must have been here before.
So, feeling nostalgic?
You again.
Sora, a question then for you. Your memories of Nominee or your feelings here? Which of the two of these is more real, I wonder?
Nominee, of course. Whatever it is that I'm feeling, I bet it's just another one of your mean little tricks.
The memory's wiles can be cruel. In its silence, we forget. In its obsession, it binds our hearts.
It's actually a really
Cut the
poetic
riddles.
line.
I told you. This place was created solely from another side of your memory.
Riku?
It is on the other side of your heart that the memory of this place exists. It is your heart that remembers.
You're wrong.
Hearts
I don't know
don't
this
remember.
place.
If you remain bound by the chain of memories,
Ah, he said the
and
thing.
refuse to believe what is truly found inside your heart, then throw it away. You are not a Keyblade master, just a slave to twisted memories. Yes, exactly like my Riku. Your existence is worth nothing!
Like your Riku? Worth nothing?
Is it getting really cold out, K-Max?
That's enough!
No, there's a big storm
You're
coming
the
here.
one who changed Riku! Every word you've said is a lie! I'd never throw away my heart! I'm gonna take you down and save Riku and Nominee! That's what's in my heart!
Children think everything is the end of the world. And yeah, sorry, Sub-Zero, no weird candies during Lent, but you know, when Easter rolls around, your gear shifter fell out. Oh, yeah, that's a good reason to stop a bike ride.
I shall freeze you.
No, you won't.
You imbecile.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Taste it. It's over. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It's over. Heal.
No! No! That's bad. You just canceled out my,
I've had enough of this.
Shoot. I just threw that away.
There. Taste this. Yeah, you're pushing it.
Think has bad kidneys. Oh, you learn how to fix for... That's not a bad price, actually, to both learn and to fix. Fixie means fixed gear. Don't need a gear shift if there are no gears.
Taste this. Yeah. This is it. Here you go. Taste this. You imbecile. Yeah. This is it. Here you go. Yeah. Here you go.
Oh, that was one shy of a blitz. That's a
It's over.
bit of a screw up, but oh well.
Heal. There. Yeah. Yeah. Back off. Yeah. Here you go.
I dodge rolled.
I shall freeze you.
No, you won't.
Taste this. Yeah. Donald. You are pushing it.
Oh, shoot.
Goofy. Here you go. Heal. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. Taste this. It's over. Heal. No good. Yeah. Heal. Yeah. Taste this.
We'll have to activate this freeze, and then I'll go to use a Mega Potion. Just like that.
Yeah. This is it. Ha, yeah. Here you go. You imbecile. Yeah. Yeah. It's over.
Oh dear. Did I get any healing back?
Here you go.
Dingo's bad kidneys. Ah. Heard it once that Lenten promises are meant to be things keeping you from God. So if you give up candy or caffeine or the like, you consider cutting them perpetuity. Always found that view a bit harsh. Yeah, I mean, there is a value in giving something up for a period and then returning to it in moderation, but there are also sometimes times to say, yeah, this thing is severely holding me back, and I really do need to cut it out, period. So, you know. Yeah, as Kit said. You know, I wasn't expecting... I forgot entirely about the double Vexen fight in a single day. Nope. Okay, that was... I'm just gonna let him end this. How many rounds will this fight take? Well, definitely more than 2. Well, sometimes people can be hardline, and that's just where they are. I have a feeling Stardust Blitz is going to be pretty useful here. Unless he does that. So rude.
It's over. You imbecile. Yeah. Here you go. It's over.
Okay, make a slate. No, I said make a slate. Dingo's fatted kidneys. Worried I'm gonna have to do some grinding to beat him here. Don't really want to do some grinding. Well, you know, I mean, with candy and caffeine, remember the sin of gluttony is real. You know.
Here you go.
Shoot, that was bad.
Here you go. It's over. You imbecile. Taste this. Yeah. Excuse me. I shall freeze you.
Oh, Dingo's fed kidneys, I just threw that away. You know, I do take it for granted that I need some slate. It is a good bedrock and Ganesh in some fights. I played that one really sloppily, not gonna lie. Yep.
I shall freeze you.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Taste this. This is it.
He's like all 9s and 0s. Oops.
Here you go. You imbecile.
Why don't we go do a little grinding? Because we're almost at time, and I am tired of fighting Vexen, because I've already had to fight him today. Do I have enough? 44 points. No. Sure, we'll do it. Actually, you know what? We have these brand new rooms. Let's find out what happens. It's another Moogle room. Well, I guess when anything can happen. I mean, I was kind of hoping for something maybe a little more exciting, but I'm going to change that room to a teeming darkness. Because this will be full of Heartless. Because I'm thinking to beat Vexen, we might just need a little more health, might be part of it. And maybe a few more card points to get in a better elixir. And I might finally do the thing where I rework my deck off stream. Is it theoretically possible for you to beat him now, assuming you had the reflexes to never get hit? Yeah, if I played better, I think I could beat him. I'm really getting my timing bad on that one dodge.
Heal. Yeah. This is it. Yeah. Ha. Ha. Yeah. Rah. Ha. 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 Rah.
And the worst part is I half expect that it's not even going to have to be get him all the way down. It's just going to be get him to a certain point on his health bar,
It's over.
and then Axel shows up.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I think the Mingling Worlds is all we get from here on out, basically, is world cards. Kind of a last-minute challenge. Turn-based games where you have no workaround. If you're under-leveled as an example. Yeah, this one, I mean, level 1 runs exist. It's a thing. I suppose a limit would be, how many cards do you physically have? Because your deck slowly dwindles down with its reloads, and you reach a point where you can't really do a whole lot. But I think I'm just taking too much damage from him. Unfortunately, there's no way to up my defense reasonably. But they're... other than just get more HP. So I think that's just what I have to do. And maybe rework my deck, I will admit, but not massively. I don't know if I managed to hit them. Nope, I did not. Hey, level up. There we go. Because sometimes you just need that extra little sliver of health. And that does make all the difference.
It's over. Goofy. Heal.
But the human bosses are definitely the most difficult in this game. Let's take a little more health. I did not think I was going to make that third one because I was looking away and
Heal! There! Fire! Funnel!
double recover. Donald, you shouldn't have. No, seriously, you shouldn't have. You should have done anything else. Hey, you have a great day, Britt. Thanks for stopping by.
It's over. Yeah, it's over. Yeah. Heal.
I will say, compared to my first playthrough ever of this being my second full playthrough ever, man, really regretting that I didn't have Mega Potions in my first playthrough. Those are so nice.
Funnel. This is it. Yeah. 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 It's over. It's over. Yeah. Goofy.
Expect to play the tactical assault, Goofy.
Fire. Funnel. Yeah. Heal. Heal. Yeah. 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 Ha. Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Back off. Fire. Funnel. Yeah.
Donald and I have terrible aim together.
Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Ha. Ha. Yeah. Ha. 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 Yeah. Ha. Yeah. 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 Ha.
All right. Let's make a save room. I think that's where we're going to call it for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Ha. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Ha.
So we made progress. We made progress. And 2 more floors, because of course there are 13. But thank you so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. Join us again tomorrow for more Nerf Arena Blast on Retro Tuesday, and more Spiritfarer on Thursday for Spirituality Thursday. Thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed. Shout out to everyone over at YouTube. And again, when we hit 200 followers here on the channel, which we're getting pretty close, we're up to 173, got a special bonus stream of SNES Roulette. So that should be a lot of fun. Have some good laughs with that. But in the meantime, check out the Discord, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, and hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Take care, God bless, and let's see if anyone is live to raid. Hey, Bree is live. Let's go raid Bree. All right, take care, everyone. Take care. God bless.